What's up, guys? Haku here. We are. I just want to get right down into it and start talking about Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. What is that? Is that me? I, oh, right. Give me a sec. Hello? Not crying. Fine. I'll do the review. Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. So, Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive is the CGI movie that comes before Final Fantasy 15. Included in it is the 4-episode anime Brotherhood. Now, one thing that I really enjoyed about this movie was the marketing. I had kind of a mixed feelings on the marketing. Starting off, that if you had to get the movie, I think about 2 months ago in May, you get the movie on online download, which is not a problem, but you had to wait 2 months for it to come out in DVD. And if anybody was like myself, who, well, I'll admit I forgot that it comes in the Ultimate Collector's Edition, so I pretty much bought the movie twice. So it kind of made it kind of weird because you had to wait all these months to be able to be a part of the story and find out what's going on. For people like me who got the Ultimate Collector's Edition, we still have to wait till the end of November before we could actually watch the movie. So it was a bit weird thing for the marketing for this movie. But then again, Final Fantasy 15 all around 10 years of waiting. It's one of those kind of things that I have to say that could have been better. Connections to the Final Fantasy 15. It's a brilliant way to introduce characters. It's a brilliant way to bring the story to life. I have to admit, plot-wise, I was a little bit worried. Okay, so I have to kind of go back and talk about past Final Fantasy games because I'm not 100% sure about what they're doing with the story with this. I do like the fact that that they're going out of their way to make sure you understand the story before it comes out. But that does make me a little bit worried. Will we have to seen the movie, the anime, everything else to understand and enjoy the story of Final Fantasy 15? Does it take it away from it? I'm not 100% sure on that. That kind of makes me a little bit uneasy because you have games like Final Fantasy 7 who you start off, I'm a soldier first class and I'm helping defeat Shinra, and now the bad guy Sephiroth has shown up, and you kind of get what the story is giving you and you kind of go along with it. I think what they're trying to do is not make the same mistake that they did with Final Fantasy 13. I am a big Final Fantasy fan, so I'm not I don't want to sit here and bash on 13, but in order to convey the story, there was a lot of reading that was going along. And when you have to read, what is a Lussie and what is a Falsy and what's going on in this world, there's a god that's doing this, but why are they doing that? And by the end of it, you have to replay it maybe 2 or 3 times to actually understand what's going on in the story. Kind of takes away from it. So I think what's going on is that they are trying to learn from their mistakes and give us a Final Fantasy that you can just go in and enjoy, and whether you're a big Final Fantasy fan or not, but be a part of this world. And I like I said, so far I'm absolutely loving it. CGI. The CGI of this movie is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say that I still love Final Fantasy VII Advent Children more, but the movements of the characters, they were just oh, I'm gonna do fire and I'm gonna teleport over here, and the action was boom 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 boom, very very fast paced. The story didn't leave me like for a long periods of time like, man, nothing's going on here. Not saying that I don't like subtlety in stories, but it was a very, very fast paced movie. I was in it from beginning to end. It was just very, very well done. I know this movie had a lot of big voice actors, and that was what to bring other people along. But I have to say that the CGI and the music was probably my most favorite parts of this movie. Okay, speaking of voice acting, and I'm glad that they did, the English voice actors. I think some of them from the game came back and reprised the roles for this movie. Made me a little bit upset because they included Brotherhood to be a part of this and no voice or no English dub for it as well. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind reading subtitles, but it was kind of jarring where you have, English voice actors for the entire movie, and then you have no other choice but to watch the anime with subtitles. And it was just one of those kind of things, like, again, with the marketing, I'm not sure where they're going with it. Like, do you really need to, couldn't you have gotten the people back, to do some of their, to reprise some of their roles from the game to do this? Was there a, scheduling issue or money issue? It's one of those kind of things that I do wish that they did take time to probably look at. So, what are my thoughts on Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive? I just have to say that I think it's a solid movie, whether you're a big fan of Final Fantasy or not. It's a good, solid, fantasy-filled film. It's a great intro into the Final Fantasy 15 universe. Gives me more questions than answers, to be completely honest. With the way that it ends, it is one of those movies that gives you, oh, there's, more to this. I want to play the game to find out, like, what's going to happen. I have to say that the characters that I did meet in the movie, the king, all the subjects, everybody who played a role in the movie, I wish I had learned more about them. They just all seemed very, very fun and very inviting. And so don't get me wrong, I want to see what Noctis and his crew is going to do in the game, but some of these people, it would have been nice to see. I really want to see what's going to happen with the story of this and the way these characters grow and change. I haven't felt a connection to a Final Fantasy and characters as much as I have this one. If you guys have seen it, I'm finally playing World of Final Fantasy, and I'm just blown back by, like, there's a scene with Yuna, and it hits me like right in the feels, like, oh my goodness, like it's been years since I've had that kind of feeling with Final Fantasy, and it excites me to know what they're doing with this. If I had to give this movie a rating, because I don't think I don't have ratings or anything like that, but I would probably do like an 8 out of 10. It's a great, solid film that I would, like I said, I would suggest to anybody who likes Final Fantasy, and some people who don't. I just say, hey, go watch this. It's a good film. And I would have to say that I really want to see what they're going to do with movies like this later down the road. Like I said, it makes a lot of questions for me. For those of you who have seen it, like, are there connections to the world of Final Fantasy VII? There's a big monster that shows up and he looks like Diamond Weapon, and I'm just like, are we just gonna get that same kind of connection that we got with Final Fantasy X? Oh yeah, they're the ancestors of, or 10-2. Oh yeah, they're the ancestor of the Shinra company and things like that. Well, anyways, this video is getting a little bit longer than I wanted it to, as I'm starting to ramble. So, questions, comments, life problems, you guys know to leave it in the section below. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I guess I should leave you guys with a question to kind of come back to. So, what is, if it's not Final Fantasy, what is your favorite CGI movie of all time? Alright, I'll catch you guys later.